Bringing you the latest news from around the world and here at home. I'm Sandra Ferdinando.
And I'm Bandin Jai Singha. Very good evening to you. Let's now take a look at your headlines.
No confidence motion brought against Minister Rajitha Senaratne. Bar Association takes legal action against Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayaka. War of words between Vimal Weerawansa and Nalin Jayamaha in Parliament. Proposed 20th Amendment to the Constitution defeated at the Uva Provincial Council. Libel case filed by Thilanga Sumathipala against Arjun Ranathunga dismissed.
MPs Vimal Weerawansa and Nalin Jayamaha exchanged a heated war of words during today's parliamentary sitting.
It would have favoured you if Vijayadasa Rajapaksa had exerted his influence. It would have favoured you if the Attorney General's department danced according to your tunes. The same goes with the judges. The reason you fired him from his ministerial portfolio is because he didn't do that.
He was nabbed for having a fake passport.
Some gamble the whole night and are deprived of sleep. You will suffer brain damage. I can provide photos that show these people gambling. If you are wearing the cloth known as good governance for a year, you have lost it. Starting now, every string in that cloth would fall off on a daily basis.
He had 2 passports to his name. That was thanks to the expelled Vijayadasa Rajapaksa. If an innocent man was found with multiple passports, he would have been remanded and denied bail.
The CID arrested me and produced me in court. I was granted bail by court. That is a complete lie.
Not only did he have 2 passports, he had also with him 2 birth certificates. His wife also had the same. This is public information.
These British MPs have no right to insult or defame other MPs. He was gambling the whole night. He is suffering from sleep deprivation. These are the MPs who whitewash Rani Singha.
He used to lick the feet of the Rajapaksas. Now he is trembling in fear because Vijayadasa Rajapaksa was chased out. They fear the law is being enforced. A murder took place inside his own house. His son's friend was killed with an overdose of Viagra. The investigations onto that murder were swept under the carpet during the Rajapaksa rule. He OD'd on Viagra.
He is stating my name and making various allegations. He must make clarifications. The post-mortem on the death of my son's friend that is said to have taken place at my house is done. A court ruling was delivered calling it a natural death. They are insulting a person who died of natural causes.
We are aware of the people who committed theft, had fake passports and committed murder. We know about the palaces that were built. All this was revealed by Buddhadasa in Kaduvela. A palace was built down Mangalamavath in Malabe. Houses were given to his brother Sarath Weerawansa. The electricity bill for a month is 125,000 rupees. How did a person who had a communication center in Mavraman Mandir generate this much of wealth? This is all from theft. When the Justice Minister was forced out, they had started to tremble in fear. They are feeling sick because the law will be enforced in an expeditious manner. We are aware of the murder the person living next to the Thesa Vidyalaya in Kalutara. We are aware of the killing of associates. We are aware of the links that he has to Polo Narwa. Don't get me started on that. When he was with Anura Kumara Dissanayake, he stole money from the collection tills as well. Such people are trying to portray themselves as saints. He changed the name given to him by his parents and now used a new name to create a passport. His wife's age was altered so that she can be younger than her sister. They cannot become national heroes by doing such things. These people are doing things that will bring disrespect to their own parents.
The joint opposition handed over a motion of no confidence against Health Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne today.
The no-confidence motion against Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne has been signed by 39 members of the joint opposition. They signed the document this afternoon at the parliamentary premises and handed it over to the Speaker thereafter. It states that they had lost faith in the actions of the minister and highlights 10 separate matters, including issues pertaining to the private medical college in Malape. We hope to take up the motion of no confidence against Minister Rajitha Senaratne for debate in Parliament as soon as possible. We believe that his ministerial actions and behaviour have not been in accordance with the requirements of Parliament and the country.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa did not sign the no-confidence motion against Minister Rajitha Senaratne. It is important to note that a majority of the 39 MPs of the joint opposition who signed the no-confidence motion had many allegations levelled at them as well.
The first MP to sign the no-confidence motion, which was later handed over to the Speaker, was MP Dinesh Gunawardena. MP Vimal Weerawansa, one of the 39 signatories of the motion, had a number of charges levelled against him, including the possession of a forged passport, the irregularities surrounding the handing over of a 309 million rupee worth plot of land to his wife, the misuse of state vehicles, and the acquisition of a house without following a proper procedure. He is also an MP who was bailed out after being sent to remand custody. MP Prasanna Ranatunga, also one of the signatories of the motion, has an indictment filed against him at the High Court for soliciting a bribe of 1.5 million rupees to construct a building on a privately owned land. Former Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage also has 2 pending cases against him. These cases were filed against him at the Bribery Commission for purchasing a house in Colombo 7 after obtaining money for it through laundering cash, incurring a loss of 50 million rupees to the state by purchasing carom and checkers boards. He had signed the motion in a backdrop where he has been charged with discrediting the Bribery Commission and while being at the centre of an investigation on a number of illegal deals. MP Nama Rajapaksa, who is also one of the signatories of the no-confidence motion against Minister Rajitha Senaratne, is named as a defendant in a case which cites his alleged involvement in committing fraud in a deal with the Hello Coke company. The case was filed at the High Court. He has signed the motion while being charged with defaming the Bribery Commission and while being involved in a number of corruption cases. MP Udega Manpila is also being named as a defendant in a case for defrauding money from an Australian businessman. Indictments have been filed against MP Rohitabe Gunawardena on charges of evading inquiries at the Bribery Commission. The signatories of the no-confidence motion, who are MPs from the joint opposition, have not only been charged with corruption allegations, but also have cases filed against them at present.
මේකේ චෝදනා බැලුවාම ඇත්තටම එහෙන් මෙහෙන් අහුලගත්ත චෝදනා වගේක් තිබෙන්නේ.
When you take a look at these allegations, it is clear that there is no basis for it. A majority of the signatories of this document are those who have corruption allegations against them when they were in the previous regime. I advocated to inquire into the corruption charges and murders committed by the previous regime. I will continue to be in the front line of that process. I will also brief the general public on the matter. That is a promise we made on the 8th of January 2015. I still maintain that stance. I do not condone politics where what is done is contrary to what was said. I will continue this task. I call on them to bring not 1 but 10 more motions in this nature. I will continue my journey in this government. I will do my best to bring every murderer and corrupt individual before the law. I believe that this motion will be converted to one where confidence is placed in me. Civil and political activities continue to highlight the need for authorities to take the necessary legal action against those responsible for the avant-garde deal. On the 19th of January 2015, the police and the Navy discover a floating armory at the Galle harbour belonging to avant-garde. Thereafter, a road inquiry was launched into both the company and its transactions. During the investigations, it was revealed that the serial number of the weapons on board the floating armory was worn off. Following this controversial discovery, allegations were raised that officials were trying to sweep the investigations under the carpet as charges were filed under the Money Laundering Act instead of the Firearms Ordinance, the Explosives Ordinance, or the Prevention of Terrorism Act. On the 6th of September 2016, Chairman of Avantgarde Nishanka Senadipati was arrested. However, less than 24 hours later, he was released on bail.
මේ සියලු දෙනාටම විරුද්ධව අපරාධ නීතිය යටතේ නඩු පැවරිය හැකිව තිබුණා.
Charges could have been filed against all these people under the penal code. However, it was not done. Who stopped it? It was the former Minister of Justice, Vijayadasa Rajapaksa. We know the relationship between Vijayadasa Rajapaksa and the owner of Avantgarde, Nishanka Senadipati. They filed charges under the Money Laundering Act and deliberately let go of an opportunity to pursue harsh legal action against these perpetrators. We saw the automatic weapons in the floating armory. We saw the mercenaries. This was a lucrative operation which was being done by the Navy. We saw the Navy commander stating that this was handed over to Avantgarde. I state that this was taken over forcibly through the then Defence Secretary. This received the patronage of then President as well. This is an act of treason. They created companies to destabilize the country, conspire against the country, deal with mercenaries and pirates and eventually steal money from the country. This is treason. Who is the biggest traitor of them all? It is former Minister of Justice Vijayadasa Rajapaksa. Strict legal action should be taken against traitors such as Vijayadasa Rajapaksa who harbored and safeguarded these rogues.
හොරාව හංගගෙන හිටිය විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ වැනි දේශද්‍රෝහීන්ට එරෙහිව නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කළ යුතුයි. නීතිය දැඩි ලෙස ක්‍රියාත්මක කර යුතුයි.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has approved a resolution to file contempt of court charges against Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayaka. At yesterday's working committee meeting of the Bar Association, a unanimous decision had been reached on the matter.
Recently, Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayaka made a statement through the media that a majority of the lawyers and judges in Sri Lanka are corrupt. The statement that he made to the world via the media is considered as baseless, and the Bar Association condemns such a statement being made. The Bar Association of Sri Lanka will be taking action against him for contempt of court as per Article 105(03) of the Constitution. First, we inform him that if there is such a situation as mentioned by him, he must produce details and names on the matter. If he produced them within 2 weeks, and if there are any details to consider, we can urge the authorities to take action. We have taken a firm stance on this matter.
The debate on the Local Authorities Amendment Bill took place in Parliament today. A heated situation took place over the 50 amendments added to the bill. However, the debate went ahead and the vote on the second reading of the bill was scheduled for tomorrow.
When the bill was presented, we said 2 months ago that we will support the bill created by the Commissioner. However, what has transpired is that they have forced 50 amendments into this bill.
These are requests to ask for time to study these amendments. Honorable Speaker, during discussions with the Elections Commissioner, he said that if the bill is not passed by the 15th of September, they won't be able to conduct the polls before the O-level examinations. We need a proper discussion on this, and we also need to pass this as soon as possible. We have
no need to delay the election. This letter was sent by the Elections Commissioner to all party leaders. It states that the Elections Commission required 75 days to conduct the poll after the bill is passed.
During the previous administration, delimitation took place in the houses of certain ministers.
We should not delay this deliberately, because if we don't pass it either today or tomorrow, we have no idea when we can pass this bill. The government might even like this idea to a certain extent.
We want to pass this bill today. MP Anura Kumar submitted his amendments, and I request the joint opposition to also present their amendments if they have any. 50 new amendments were added to the bill created by the Elections Commissioner. This was done this morning. The JVP is aware of all these amendments, but the members of Parliament received them this morning. Has this received the approval of the Attorney General? There may be various discussions, but there should be a stability. We want the election as soon as possible. We are ready to approve this tomorrow or even next week. If we have to get involved in a wrongful act to get this done, we will do so understanding the situation at hand. Therefore, tell us when you will hold the election. That is what we need to know.
අන්න ඒක තමයි අපිට දැනගන්න ඕනේ.
මැතිවරණ දිනය තීන්දුව
The Elections Commissioner decided the date of the election. My job is to get these amendments passed. The Elections Commissioner said that 55 days after the bill is passed, they could hold the elections. Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena attend these meetings. Clarifications were made to him. So Dinesh pointing a finger at me in this chamber is wrong.
අද මෙතුමා මට ඇඟිල්ල දික් මේ සභාවේ මට ඇඟිල්ල දික් කිරීම වැරද්දක් හැටියට මම දකිනවා.
අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා පක්ෂ සමාජික මන්ත්‍රීවරු.
We are members of the SLFP. Do you accept that MPs of your own party who are seated in the opposition have no idea about the contents of these amendments?
None of the SLFP members have ever sought clarification in this regard from me. If a clarification is needed, I am prepared to do it today to any MP.
අද පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් කරන්න ලෑස්ති ඕනෑම මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙක්.
The draft of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution was defeated at the Uva Provincial Council with a majority of 7 votes today.
When the amendment was presented to the Provincial Council this morning, 12 provincial councillors voted against it while 5 votes were cast in favour. 8 councillors abstained from casting their vote. The Uva Provincial Council comprises of 34 members and 9 of them did not attend today's sitting. The Bali Process Government and Business Forum 2017 is currently underway in Perth, Australia, bringing together governments and business leaders in a world's first to combat the fast-growing scourge of modern slavery in the Indo-Pacific region in the 21st century. Group Director of the Capital Maharaj Organisation, Siobhan Daniel, is attending the forum on an invitation extended by the Australian government.
The forum, chaired by Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop, has 45 ministers from nations in the Indo-Pacific region as well as business leaders from the world's largest companies represented to strategize, partner and combat people smuggling, human trafficking and related transnational crime. The inaugural keynote address was delivered by Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop, who spoke compellingly on the multitude of challenges faced in the present day as a result of modern slavery and the role of government and business in combating it. The forum is unique in that it invites global business leaders to discuss and recommend to governments a clear set of objectives to assist them in implementing innovative and effective solutions to combat, prevent and ultimately eradicate the crimes of modern slavery. The Capital Maharaj Organisation was selected to represent Sri Lankan businesses at this forum, with Group Director Siobhan Daniel addressing those gathered. The Capital Maharaj Organisation has continuously engaged in multidisciplinary initiatives to empower Sri Lankans facing obstacles in varying fields. The latest global statistics reveal that over 40 million people across the world are currently considered to be in various stages of modern-day slavery.
So the private sector and businesses are a huge, huge part of this forum here in Perth, and it's focused on very real action that will be taken over the next couple of days, months, and years to come. The real challenge here is not what we see, what we don't see. Often modern-day slaves are, and slavery is seen in everyday occupation, and we're just so used to it. We're conditioned by it that we tend not to stand up against it. And these were the sentiments expressed, in fact, by the Australian Foreign Minister and the Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party, Julie Bishop, this morning. And even as I spoke with her, these are the same sentiments that she expressed, that much more than slavery in the 18th and 19th century, today's slavery is to be seen all around us. It just takes a global effort, a concerted effort to stand up against it. So the Capital Maharaj Organisation is the Sri Lankan company selected to represent Sri Lanka at this process, and we're very happy to be involved in this initiative and hopefully make a change and make a difference.
Minister S.P. Dissanayake has responded to statements made by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa on the position of chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
This is a disappointing situation. The former president and the incumbent president discussed this in the presence of then Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa at the Speaker's residence. Then Chamal Rajapaksa announced to us that it was decided to appoint President Maithripala Sirisena as the chairman of the party, and we must also support him. He told the same to Secretary of the party, Anura Priyadarshini Yapa. Yapa was instructed to call the Central Committee the next day and remove the ex-president and thereby hand over the party. He instructed his secretary to immediately dispatch the letters. I wonder if they have no shame to say something different to what actually happened. They have no shame. This might be a psychological illness as well.
ඒක ඇත්තටම ලැජ්ජා නැතිකම එහෙම නැත්නම් මොකක් හරි මානසික ප්‍රශ්නයක්.
කවුද අධිකරණයට දැන්
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට
That is something for the UNP to do. The Prime Minister will make a proposal to the President and they will discuss it.
ඒ දෙන්න කතා කරලා ඒක තීන්දුව කරයි.
පසුගිය දවසට තුල අධිකරණ ස්වාධීනව කටයුතු කරේ නැද්ද? උන්නේ නැද්ද? කරන්න දුන්නේ නැද්ද? කරන්න උන්නේ නැද්ද?
ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඔය මතු කරන අය
The people who raised those matters make various allegations. What we saw was that cases that came to the Attorney General's Department from the CID and the FCID were deliberately delayed.
මේ ගතියක් අපටත්
Several high-profile judicial proceedings took place today. We begin the court reports with developments in the Wasim Tajuddin homicide case.
The Attorney General's Department informed court today that Professor Ananda Samarasekara, the former Chief Judicial Medical Officer of Colombo, can be arrested in relation to the Wasim Tajuddin homicide. Additional Solicitor General Dilan Ratnayaka informed court that the CID has been instructed on the matter. He was briefing court on the matter of bone fragments removed during the autopsy of Tajuddin being reported missing. The bone fragments removed from the laboratory of the private medical college in Malabe are currently in the custody of the CID. Court ordered the 17 parcels containing those bone fragments to be handed over to the office of the Chief Judicial Medical Officer of Colombo. The case was adjourned till the 28th of September. The verdict on the case in relation to using funds of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission to distribute silk cloth is to be announced on the 7th of September. Colombo High Court Judge Gihan Pilapitiya made the announcement today. The case was filed by the Attorney General against former Secretary to the President Lalit Viratunga and former Director of the TRC Anusha Palpita. 600 million rupees of TRC funds were used to distribute silk cloth in the run-up to the 2015 presidential election. Captain Tissa Vimalasena, who served as driver to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and former member of the Putlam Pradesh Sabha Lal Priyanta Piris, were further remanded today. They were produced before Colombo Additional Magistrate Shanima Vijay Bandara. They were arrested and remanded for operating an illegal quarry in a land located in Korotata, Kaduela.
The Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division recorded a statement from former Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa. It was recorded at his residence in Veerakatia.
Statement was recorded from Chamal Rajapaksa as he served as the chairman of the D.A. Rajapaksa Foundation in connection to the monument that was built in remembrance of his parent. The FCID personnel had recorded the statement for almost an hour.
Newsfirst national campaign titled Sri Lanka Against Corruption got underway in 2 districts today.
They're all the same. They use our money to buy BMWs and Benz cars and live in luxury.
This morning, one team commenced their campaign from the Nikavaratia town following religious observances at the Ayanayaka Devalaya. Thereafter, they proceeded to Ennaragama, Nebadavava and surrounding villages.
Punishments are delayed. Theft is committed but the law is not enforced. What happened to the Rajapaksas? Nothing was done against them. That is the truth. Was anyone sent to jail? No. These days we are reaping the harvest. Once that is done, elephants storm the village. That is the issue we face.
The team is expected to reach Putlam via Anamaduwa tonight. Another team commenced the campaign from Nellore in the Badula district. The team raised awareness among the estate community in Nellore and then proceeded to areas such as Sama Chaithiyagama, Hilloya, Egudagama, Udaperua, Palleperuma and surrounding areas.
We do not need these rogues. We support everything against the corrupt and rogues.
The new Inland Revenue Bill will be presented to Parliament with amendments tomorrow. State Minister of Finance Iran Vikram Ratna outlined the aim of the new bill.
82% of the taxes in the country are indirect, while the remaining 18% are direct taxes. We do not believe this is fair. Therefore, the ratio of indirect tax must be brought down. It is in such a backdrop we are producing this new Inland Revenue Bill. This bill must be easy to understand and needs to be transparent. If there are more provisions for the politician, the minister and senior officers take decisions, there is a high possibility of corruption taking place. There won't be a need to be waiting in front of my door or Minister Mangala Samarveera's door in the future.
විවිධ පාර්ශව විසින් නොයෙකුත් යෝජනා ගෙනාවා. ආණ්ඩුව
A series of proposals were presented by different groups. The government decided to accept some of those proposals and make amendments. There appears to be no issues in relation to this matter.
මේ ප්‍රශ්නකාරී ගතිය තටම නැති වෙන තත්වයකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
අපි ඡන්දය හෙට ගන්නෙ නැහැ.
The vote on this will not take place tomorrow, but at the next parliamentary sitting. Then there is sufficient time to present amendments. The vote will take place next with the amendments included into the bill. The EPF members will not have to pay any other taxes. The donations to temples, kobbils, churches and mosques will not be taxed. The present system will continue. There are rumors being spread. Funding for religious purposes will not be taxed. The case filed by Tilangana Sumatipala seeking damages of 500 million rupees from Minister Arjuna Ranatunga was dismissed by the Nugegore District Court today.
Following the request made by District Judge Namal Bandara Balalla, Additional District Judge YRD Nelumdeniya delivered the ruling on his matter. The action had been filed by Sumatipala claiming that Minister Ranatunga had made defamatory remarks against him by alleging that Sumatipala was a corrupt individual unsuited to work towards the upliftment of cricket. Sumatipala claims that Arjuna Ranatunga had made these remarks at a media briefing on the 21st of May 2003 at Ranatunga's residence.
The Asian Development Bank has earmarked up to $5 billion to help Sri Lanka's transition to upper middle income country status. It was announced today that the Board of Directors of the ADB has endorsed country partnership strategy for 2018-2022 amounting to up to $1 billion per year for the period.
The ADB plans to use the funds to strengthen infrastructure in the transport, energy and urban sectors. A media release issued by the ADB also noted that there will be a special focus on strengthening institutions such as the Ceylon Electricity Board, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, Road Development Authority, Sri Lanka Railways and the Sri Lanka Ports Authority.
The CPS has been developed to support Sri Lanka's transitions to an upper middle income country status. Our assistance is closely aligned with the development strategy of the government of Sri Lanka as outlined in the two policy statements of the Prime Minister in Parliament in November 2016 and November 2015 and October 2016, and the Public Investment Program of 2017 to 2020.
Chasing a revised target of 231 runs in 47 overs, India were 118 for the loss of 3 wickets. And with that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Sandra Ferdinando.
And I'm Bandin Jai Singha. Good night. Take care.